Okay. Holiday Dan on holiday in Durban. How's that feel?
Yeah, who would have thought? Yeah, I didn't think I'd ever get here, so here we are. It's amazing, Don. I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah, it must have been strangely hard to sail away from Australia. I know it was a big challenge financially and all that sort of stuff, but you did it. So,
Yeah,
and now you're not sailing home, you're sailing away from home still. How's that
yeah,
feel?
yeah. Well, I'm past there now, so it's not so much of an issue. I've already passed the spot of no return, so yeah, I can keep going now, I guess. So it was always, even since I started building the boat, Australia was always in the back of my mind. How am I going to get past there when I'm sailing around the world? And it was definitely as I approached Fiji and even past Fiji, it was still on the back of my mind. Do I just take a left-hand turn? And yeah, I just thankfully I didn't. I just kept pushing forward, and here we are in South Africa, and I'm just stoked to be here.
Yeah, yeah. And have you put that bucket on Renault's keel yet?
Well, I'm trying, but it's not working.
You're having a hell of a race. I mean, it's really good to see. I mean, there's still four of you in the hunt, like with Peeler and Carey and yourselves.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
can see you shining now. Like in the start of the race, out of Antigua and Panama, all that sort of stuff, you're still feeling your way. But jeepers, you're on the ball right now. You're on fire.
I mean, I keep learning. That's all. That's what it's been about for me. Like, it's never been about anything else apart from doing the best I can and getting around the world. But I've always been competitive, sort of a bloke. But right from the start, I had never done a great deal of solo sailing. But I had faith in myself that I'd be able to pick myself up and get myself closer and closer. And I don't necessarily have a goal to win the race, but I'd love to keep knocking on Renaud's door and maybe, at least one of these legs maybe get in front of him, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, buy a bigger bucket. But I know he's enjoying it as well, having some hot competition breathing down his neck.
It's fantastic, and each leg I've been able to actually, ever since Panama, every leg I've actually been able to lead out of the gate, and whether it's been for 1 day or 3 days or whatever, or 5 days. But this one I only had him for the first night, and then he overtook me. He's just got an extra gear sometimes, once the adrenaline wears off. So it's just something I've got to keep working on, I guess. So it's once I go to sleep and stuff, he has a gear somewhere that I'm still trying to find.
Yeah, so that's the racing side. What about crikeys? You basically knocked off about 21,000 miles now from Portugal. Do you look back at that and think, holy dooly? Like how do you explain that?
I mean, it's amazing. Like, sometimes it's just hard to believe. I remember having a conversation with you right at the start, saying you're going to blink and this is over, and I didn't really believe it at the time. And at the start, I thought this race is going to take forever, but it's look back on it, it's just happened so quickly. And like you said, and I am reflecting a lot more now when I'm out there, and it's all been good. Like, I generally think since Fiji, I've been in a much better headspace, and I've been a happier person and a better sailor for it, and I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm trying to sail well, and I'm sailing well, I think, and I'm making generally good decisions. But I'm also eating well, and I'm sleeping well. I'm not pushing myself to the absolute limit. I'm actually out here trying to have a good time. I'm not. At the end of the day, for me, I need to enjoy what I'm doing out here. If I'm not, then it's just not. It's not enjoyable. So I'm doing the best I can to enjoy myself at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. I know you look after yourself physically, and you were a bodybuilder and all this sort of stuff in the past. But have you noticed a change physically in your situation where you started to now? Most people have lost weight, but are you healthy? How do you feel within the physics of it?
Very healthy. I haven't had any issues really. I mean, the odd nick and all that sort of thing through the whole race, but I've never had any dramas at all. Obviously, I've lost muscle mass and lost weight. I think I lose a lot of weight, but also when I get to port, I put on quite a bit as well. But I think in total, I've only lost about 5 kilos, but I generally lose 5 kilos every single passage, and I put on 3 or 4 or 5, sometimes even more.
We're frozen.
We've lost started because the meat is amazing here. It's beautiful.
Yeah, yeah, I can believe it. And what about the mind game? I mean, you're one of the ones that express yourself really well, and it's clear to see during the course of the voyage you've had lots of ups and downs and so on, and Nikki's been right there to keep pushing you on and so on. How would you describe were you? Would you? What am I saying? If you, is it what you expected? I mean, you've been through some interesting stuff in your life,
Yeah.
and you probably knew that the MGR was going to be a bit of a mind thing as well. Is it what you expected, worse or a bit easier?
I wouldn't say. I would say what I expected, to be honest. Like it's not definitely not easier. Like it is hard, and certainly some days are hard, like a lot harder than others. But it's probably what I expected. That, to be honest, when I have my hard days, the hard days are 99% of the time is because people at home are having hard days. So when the family or the kids are having a bad day or a really tough day at school, or Nikki's having a tough day, that reflects big on my sailing and my mindset. When everything's going well at home, I feel invincible. Like I can just keep pushing on, and I feel amazing. And but at the end of the day, I think it's been everything I anticipated it would be, and I feel like I'm getting stronger mentally out here. I don't think there's definitely not a lot here that would. I mean, it affects me, but it's nothing I can't deal with. But it's stuff that happens at home that you really sometimes struggle with, that can be tough. That said, like that last 10 hours of the last leg, when you push yourself so hard, and you over 1,500 miles, you're only 2 hours behind the leader, and over 13 miles you lose another 10. It can be it just it bites at you within, I guess.
I know exactly what, it was my disease in the BOC with my circumnavigation. Three of the four endings were just disasters. One of them I lost like 9 hours, and you just go nuts. Anyway, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
At that time, the other person hasn't had it, it's challenging. But
yeah,
I'm the type of bloke that really, I do, it hurts me, I guess, at the time. But as soon as I finish the race, and I have a feed and have a sleep, like I look back on it and I laugh. Like it's just, it is what it is. So I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
I'm not I'm not I'm better for it, I guess.
yeah. I think you've already answered the question. Starlink is, your opinion of Starlink would have to be high. Like are you a heavy user of Starlink? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't. Looking back on it now, like I always thought, maybe I could do a GGR or something like that. But looking back on it, I don't actually think I could. I did the Atlantic without Starlink, and my mindset and everything has been so much better ever since I've had Starlink. Just because I can, I watch the odd movie and those sorts of things, um, but I'm able to see the weather. But it's just being able to speak to the family, and we've become even closer just from me being out here and be able to contact them. And I realise now that I don't want to do a race without being able to contact my family. And it's also like it's one of those things like I'm trying to maintain some sort of normality with home. And one of the things we used to do, like Nikki and I, at night time, from between 9:30 and 10:30, when everything's done and dusted, we'd just watch an episode or something. And we don't do that every night, but it's one of those things, like on a Friday night, even if it's rough, like we'll download an episode on Starlink, and we'll just watch something just as a thing. Like
so how do you watch
crazy,
it?
really.
So Nikki's on WhatsApp on the phone or something, and you're pointing it to your screen, or how do you watch the movie
Yeah.
together?
So what do I do? I normally download movies, and like I don't. At the end of the day, I still have limited data. So generally, before a passage, we'll download a bunch of movies that we might want to watch or something,
Yeah,
and then on a Friday night, we'll just connect up on. So it's downloaded. So I'm not using data. I'm just using data to
yeah,
speaking to Nikki,
yep,
which
yep.
is not a great deal. So we'll just watch a movie, and we'll turn it on. It might only be for an hour or 2 hours, but we'll have a laugh, and at the end I'll say good night, and then I'll go back. She'll go to bed, and then I'll go back sailing. So.
Oh boy, I wonder what John Guswell would have thought.
I was actually embarrassed to talk about it at the start, but now I just don't care. It is it's what we do. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's something we fiercely protect with the Golden Globe race because it's what it is. Complete isolation.
yeah,
That really screws people up, and
yeah,
it's challenging. But that's
it's
what it was
it's
back in
different. Yeah,
Matessia and Robert Knox Johnson's time. But anyway, so there's no going back now. Starlink is on the MGR. That's the way it is. So
it is
that's
what it
kind of
is. Yeah.
cool. So is
Yeah.
there something that you miss on a daily basis while you're out? That
No,
you always
I mean, I've got to a point now where I'm not really missing a lot at all. The only thing is obviously just to be honest, I'm actually looking forward to going back to having some sort of normality and I guess financial security. So I want to get this over and done with, and just have, I guess, somewhat of a normal life. Not necessarily for me, but just for my wife and family, just to help them out. And that's what I'm learning about more. Like I've been doing these adventures now for nearly 15 years, and I feel this has always been the last one on my list. So, and I was a bit worried that I might start thinking about other things, and I'm sure there'll be other things on the list. But I'm generally feeling really calm within myself that I can finish this race, and I can go back and we'll come up with an idea and we'll do something together. I'm sure it's going to be an adventure, but I don't need to go and prove myself to anyone. This is the last thing I've ever wanted to do, so I'm happy.
Let me think about that for a minute. You'll get the little voices come back, but it'll probably be, as you say, with you and Nikki or something,
That's what I mean. Like, I'm sure I know the voices will come back, and I'm sure there'll be shorter things, like there'll be smaller things I'll do. That'll be, maybe weeks at a time. But I'll never put my family through anything like this again in terms of finance, even though it's affordable. Yeah. But unless, of course, there's a big sponsor out there that wants me to do a Vendée race, that I'm happy to do that. Someone pays for.
Yeah, you've got a pretty powerful social media impact right now. You've got a lot of followers. Most of them, well, probably half of them are from Australia. But it's you feed it well. You do good social media. That leads into the next thing. How do you feel being such an inspiration? Because obviously you're inspiring a lot of people already. What's going on.
Well, for me, that's what I wanted. That's what I'm trying to achieve now. Like I've done these things, and for me, my biggest goals moving forward is to be able to help others. Like I've had a lot of help getting to where I am, and what I've done in my life, especially in the last 10, 15 years. So I really want to give back and be able to help others. So whatever I can do in that regard, whether it's volunteering or just doing talks or helping the next generation. I really like helping the younger kids. So I'm hoping I can get back from here and be able to share my knowledge that I've gained over these years and help others. That's really what I want to do. So I don't want it to be about me anymore.
Okay. So before we talk about the weather for this leg, how are you feeling about the next leg to Cape Town?
I feel fantastic. Like I know there's going to be tough, and there's going to be some issues. Not issues, but there's going to be some challenges going down here with little systems and whatnot. But I was most nervous, and I always have been, about from Mauritius to here. So and that's only because of the length, and then you don't know what's coming in the second week. But for now, like, honestly, like, if there's something coming that I don't think we're going to make it, I'm just not going to go. Like, I'm not going to put myself at risk, and I'm just going to pick the weather. And if that means I lose time, I lose time. But I generally do not want to put myself at risk. And I think if we pick the right weather windows, we're probably not going to have too hard of a time. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. It's quite amazing, eh? So we'll talk about this, and I'll ask you in a minute, what day do you think you'll leave at the moment? But when Renaud arrived, he was really frustrated because he was saying, "God, it looks like I'm not going to get out of here till the 21st of November or something," with the long range forecast. And a few days later, Jane and I were sort of looking at it, scratching our head, and see, I think Renaud's wrong. I think it's going to not get good until the 24th. So you'd be stuck in. But now, even yesterday, I was thinking, you look at the forecast, and 24 hours later, it's completely changed. Like the forward forecast, up to 3, 4, 5 days. So have you had a look at it? I mean, it looks like you might have a window on Sunday or something, or whatever.
I'm changing. So it does change a lot. At the moment, I'm toying with the idea I'll leave Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. But I've realised it's changing so much, so I won't make that decision until Friday or Saturday. So Sunday is the first option. I think the Thursday after that, or somewhere around Thursday, is around about the second option. And so I'm really hoping to get out and do a couple of days, just to least London, and get down there with any luck on Sunday night. Get there before Wednesday morning if I can. And then I think we've got another few days from Thursday. So if I can get to Wednesday, I can get there by early Wednesday morning, hang out there for 36, 48 hours, and then I'm hoping from there I might even be able to get to Mossel Bay from Thursday down to Sunday or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Is it a love relationship with your boat at the moment? How are you and the boat getting on?
So me and the boat, great. The boat has been fantastic. Like, I have not had one single thing go wrong. Touch wood, from Mauritius. Like, I'm really in a me and the boat, I guess it's gone through its little, nooks and crannies and whatever. But the boat and I are getting along really, really well. We don't even. I have no issues at all. That said, I'm when I get somewhere, I'm starting to get keen to get off the thing. Like I'd definitely be ready for change once I get to the end. It's a long time to be on a small boat, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you had a magic wand and you could change just one thing in the MGR, what would it be? You know?
If I had one thing to change in the NGR, well, I'm really enjoying sailing together as a group off the start lines. Like I get that's probably I like to I like to have someone Renaud around or someone around to as a bit of a yardstick sort of pacer, I guess. So I really enjoying that sort of thing. So I guess I would like to have the people around, but there's nothing that I go, this is horrendous. Like I'm generally enjoying myself.
Yeah.
And there's never a perfect answer for anything. So and probably if we're all starting together, then there's probably there'd be times where we would regret that. So I don't know. I'm not. There's not one thing that I think of that is
Yeah, cool.
my heart would say.
Okay, so very soon you'll be on the other side of the of Cape of Good Hope into Cape Town. Have you started to think about what's next? After Antigua, touch wood.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I think for me it's more about just going. I just want to go home and just try and become a bit more financially secure. So definitely in the short term, that's my goal is to look after my family and help others. That's basically what I want to do. Like I want to, probably go back, do some sort of work, and I'd love to be able to. Eventually, I want to write another book. So I'm trying to write another book about the race, and in the future, I'm hoping things will happen, and this race and the things that I've done will be my life. I'll be able to make a living from whatever that is. But in the short term, I just need to go back and make the family financially. And
you're going to sell the boat? You're selling the boat? Are you going to ship it back or?
Yeah. I was hoping to give it to I was hoping to do something with a museum in South Australia, but they in the end it was too hard for them with the space and everything. So I'm not 100% sure yet, but I think at this stage I'll probably see if I can sell it now. Otherwise, I'll take it back to Australia and maybe I'll do some stuff in the home club and help out. Try and teach some people, and maybe something will happen back in Australia. So there's I haven't got any confirmed thing at this stage.
Yeah, all right. The last word's up to you. You want to say anything before we sign off?
No, nothing extra. Obviously, I always say the same thing, but thanks to everyone back at home for following myself and the Race of Immortal game, and also, of course, the other competitors in the whole mini globe race. It's been an amazing adventure, and of course my sponsors and everyone that supported me getting to this point. I wouldn't be here without the support of others. So that's it, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So thank you, and we'll look forward to seeing you in Cape Town. Don't get there before the 28th, because otherwise you'll beat us. Anyway, we're looking forward to see you. So
you
thanks
too.
for that.
Cheers. Thanks, Don. Cheers.